Next, we'll look at slope and graphing the line from the slope-intercept form. In our slope-intercept form of the equation of the line, once y is isolated, the slope is the coefficient of the x. So coefficient of x, remember that includes this sign. This is slope. The b is your y-intercept. It gives you a point. Remember, for a y-intercept, the x is 0. So you have a point and a slope. That's enough to draw the graph. So we'll look at some examples. We will pick off the slope, we will pick off the y-intercept, and then we will draw the graph. So for our first one, y equals 2x minus 1. The y is isolated. Your slope is the coefficient of the x, so m is 2. Our y-intercept is -1, so that will be 0, -1. To graph with it, you always plot the point first. And this is plain old point plotting starting from 0, 0. So it says don't go over, but go down 1. Your y-intercept will always land on the y-axis. Right, now we'll move with slope. We'll make the slope look like a fraction. From our point we already drew, we're going to go up 2 and over to the right 1, and then we will connect the graph. For our next equation, we have y equals 2x plus 5. It is in slope-intercept form. Y is isolated. Your slope will be the coefficient of the x, so m equals 2. Your y-intercept will be 5. For y-intercept, the x is 0. Now we will plot the point. So start at 0, 0. It says don't go over, but go up 5. And from there, we'll move with the slope. We'll make the slope look like a fraction. And from our point, we're going to go up 2 and over 1. Then we will connect the points to make our graph. For our next one, y equals 1/2 x minus 6. It is also in slope-intercept form. Your slope will be coefficient of the x, so your slope is 1/2. Your y-intercept will be the number, and so it will be 0, -6. We will always plot the point first, so don't go over, go down 6. And then we will move with the slope. It says vertical change is go up 1 and over 2. And then we will connect the dots. Our next problem is in function notation. F of x equals -3/4 x. But remember that f of x is the same as y. And this is in slope-intercept form. It's a little different than some of the others because it doesn't show any number for the intercept. If there's no number there, what could it be? Has to be a 0. It's the only number that could be there. So we can go ahead and write it. Right? Our slope is -3/4. And our y-intercept will be 0, 0. So we'll plot that first. From there, we're going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. Over to the right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make a point. Connect the dots. For our next equation, y equals x plus 7. This is in slope-intercept form. Your y is isolated. You want the coefficient of the x. If you don't see anything in front, remember it's a 1. So our slope is 1. The y-intercept will be this number, and its x-coordinate is 0. So 0, 7. So we can plot our point. Don't go over, but go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. Our slope is 1, so we will make it 1 over 1, so it's a fraction. And I have to go up 1 and over 1. For the next couple of examples, you're going to have to think outside the box just a little bit. If you remember, when you only have one variable, it's going to give you a special line. So it's not going to really fit our pattern here. So it's going to give us a special line. And if we forget which it is, whether it's vertical or horizontal, we can do just a little table. But our y must be 4 for all our points. And we can do any x that we want. And we'll just plot those. So 0, 4, don't go over, go up 4. And 1, 4. And 2, 4. And that will remind us about our line. And so we have a horizontal line. What is the slope on a horizontal line? It is 0. Right? And what is the y-intercept? We do have a y-intercept on this one. And it is when our x is 0, so 0, 4 is our y-intercept. For our next one, x equals negative 4, we can not put it in slope-intercept form either. It is a special line. It only has one variable. We can make a little table to see which way it goes, vertical or horizontal. Our x has to be negative 4. Any y we want. And so negative 4, 0. Negative 4, 1. Negative 4, 2. So it is a vertical line. What is your slope on a vertical line? It is undefined. And the y-intercept. For this problem, there is not a y-intercept. There's an x-intercept, but that's not what it asks. Y-intercept would be, does it go through this y-axis? It does not. It is parallel to that y-axis, so there is no y-intercept on this problem. The next few problems are just going to involve some algebra to first manipulate your equation into slope-intercept form, and then you will pick off the slope, the y-intercept, and draw the graph. We may not do all of the ones on the template for this one. All right, let's go ahead and isolate the y. So take off your 3x. We will subtract it from both sides. So we get y equals 4 minus 3x. Or you can switch the order if you want. It doesn't matter. Negative 3x plus 4 is the same. Now it's in slope-intercept form. Pick off your slope, coefficient of the x. So m equals negative 3. Your y-intercept is 4. So 0, 4. Plot your point. So start at 0, 0. Don't go over, go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make a point. We'll make the slope look like a fraction so we can put it over 1. So it says we're going to go down 3 and 1 to the right. 1, 2, 3, and 1 to the right. And connect the dots. This next problem, we just need to do the algebra first to get it into the appropriate form. So we want to isolate the y. So we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. And then divide by 5. Divide it under each piece. So we get y equals 5 into 10 will go 2 times, and here just pull your coefficient away from the x a little bit. Now you're in the proper form. So y is isolated, your slope is the coefficient of the x. So m equals negative 2/5. Your y-intercept is 0, 2. We will plot our point first, so don't go over but go up 2. From there, we're going to go down 2 and to the right 5. So down 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to the right, and connect. We'll look at just one more problem. And so we need to go to slope-intercept form. That means isolate the y. So we will take the x off, so we'll subtract 6x from both sides. Right, go back on the side with the y, and you need to divide everything by a negative 5. Gives us y equals a negative 2. Whoops, y equals a negative 2. Be careful here, you have 2 negatives. That will give you plus 6/5 x. Now we're in the proper form. It doesn't matter if it's turned around a little bit. Your y-intercept is going to be negative 2. And your slope will be 6/5. So plot your 0, negative 2 first. And then we're going to go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a point, connect the dots.